Yo, what is going on, everybody? I am your host, Slackerz Gaming, bringing you the next matchup of the Fighter Pass tournament. And if you're new and you want to participate, you can. Pretty simple. The way to vote for this tournament, and it's a tournament where we vote to see who we'd rather want as a DLC fighter in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. The way to vote is down in the comments by simply typing the name of one of the two characters in today's matchup. And the two characters, you can tell, they're in the title of the video, so one of those two characters. Just type their name in the comment. You can actually vote for both. That is a rule that I'm making. If you want both, you can vote both. That's fine. No big deal. It's still only one vote per person, but just type both. Pretty simple. So, yeah, it's a double elimination tournament. Character has to lose twice before they're done. We go till there's a winner. If there's a tie in the voting, I'll flip a coin to break the tie. Easiest way to do it. And, yeah, the voting stays open for 1 week, and then we get results, and, so on and so forth until, yeah, pretty simple. But we got to go over the results from last week. And since my other tournament that I usually do later in the day does not have a matchup, I have to go over the results for that. And let's do that first. So this is the results for the DLC character tournament. I know they're pretty similar, but this one I started a long time ago. So the results are from Bandana D taking on Isaac. And let's just say this one wasn't really too much of a competition. I mean, Bandana D ended up winning 51-35. So Bandana D, congrats, wins, moves on to the next round. It gets at least one more matchup, so that's pretty cool. But Isaac is officially eliminated from the tournament now because this is the the loser bracket for the double elimination tournament. So there you go. And we'll find out tomorrow's, I guess, Bandana D's opponent for tomorrow, because we'll get the results of that tomorrow, and then we'll have a matchup for this tournament tomorrow. But it'll be Rayman or Dixie Kong taking on Bandana D, so that should be pretty interesting. So now that we're done with that tournament, let's go over this one. All right, well, that's spoiled, but there you go. Winner of the very first matchup of this tournament was Agumon, who ended up winning with 46 votes. Defeated Travis Touchdown, who only had 17, so Agumon, congrats. There's a lot of people that were in the comments saying Digimon against Pokemon would be a really cool thing, and I agree. I think that would be an awesome thing to finally see and have that in Smash, and Bandai's working on the game, and Bandai's closely, they're tied in with Digimon, so maybe it could happen. I think it'd be kind of cool, but Agumon gets to move on to the next round. Travis Touchdown only goes to the loser bracket, so Travis ain't done yet, but if he loses again, then he's done. Pretty simple. All right, but now we have to go to today's matchup, which is going to be game number 7. This is an insane match. Spyro taking on Crash Bandicoot. Activision is fighting itself in this one. So let's do this one, right? So first up, Crash Bandicoot, right? I mean, I just covered Crash in my other tournament just a few days ago. So this is crazy. But let's make the point, right? So like I said, it's Activision. Activision owns both Crash and Spyro. So both Crash and Spyro just had a remake of their old games, which the fans really seemed to enjoy and really loved. Both of these characters are really iconic. They both just fit like the Smash style. Crash, I think, fits a bit more. I love him. I love both the characters, honestly. They're both characters I personally never got to play as because I grew up on Nintendo, but then the remakes came out. Play the Crash one. At some point, I intend to try to play the Spyro ones, but just been busy with so many other games, so I haven't been able to play the Spyro games. But for Crash especially, I think his, I guess you could call it quirkiness or his attitude or whatever is just kind of like a big, I don't know, it's like, how am I trying to put this? Like, I don't know, he's just got like that sort of the it factor, if that makes sense. I mean, moveset is easy. He's got a ton of like iconic locations you can come up with for his stage if he were to be a Fighter Pass character in Smash Ultimate. There's a ton of songs. There's, from the start of the game, there's the, like, you could get the Tiki head, like the game over screen, or I don't know what I'm going on. But so like moveset is easy to do for Crash. Like I just said, stages is easy to come up with. There's all sorts of music you can put in. And I think getting Crash back into the spotlight like Activision did with the Insane Trilogy remake was a great it was just a great idea on their part to bring back this character and get so many people, looking at the guy. And a lot of people that didn't get to play the game got to now experience it, and it sold extremely well. It's on PlayStation, Xbox, and the Switch. It's all over the place. People enjoy the crap out of it, and Crash is just such a great character. So I think he fits very well in Smash Bros. Personally, I would love to see Crash. So you probably know. I'll just say it. I'm going to vote Crash in this one. I haven't even gone over Spyro, but I like Crash way better, so I'm going to vote Crash. Anyway, let's move on to Spyro here for a second. So Spyro, again, just had the remake come out. I don't think it's on the Switch yet, but there's definitely that possibility that sometime, maybe in the upcoming year, some point that it does get ported over to the Switch, and maybe to, coincide with, a Switch release. It just so happens Spyro gets into the game as well, like, oh, Spyro Reignited Trilogy's on the Switch. Oh, guess what? Spyro's in Smash Bros. As well, That way Nintendo can try to promote both of them, even though it's not really Nintendo's job to promote, like, a third-party character that's going to be in Smash, because it's not their game per se, so they don't have to, go all out and be like, yo, this character's in our game, let's promote. I mean, I guess in a way they could if, there's a port of that game on the Switch, then they could, but like as of right now, take Joker for an example, because he's the first DLC fighter that we know about from the Fighter Pass. There's no Persona 5R or whatever the new one. There's not a Switch port yet that we know of. So I mean, Nintendo doesn't have to promote the Persona games, although they'd probably sell extremely well on the Switch. Let's be frank here. They'd sell amazingly. But that's not something that Nintendo, has to focus on for their job, to be like, all right, let's get this character and then we market this character. Well, not really, because let's face it, pretty much all DLC characters are going to be third party most likely. And I don't know. Nintendo's just going for the big names, kind of the juggernauts. I'm assuming that's kind of how they'd want, because they want people to buy this Fighter Pass. They want people to buy their DLC. And, the more people that buy more DLC, the more money Nintendo and its third-party partners make, however they want to structure up a deal for DLC. So, but back to Spyro again. Legendary, iconic character in gaming history. You could go with, the most recent, or as remastered versions of Spyro. You could do that for skins. Some people would probably like the Skylanders version. Maybe you could have a Skylanders skin, here or there in the color swaps or the palette swaps, whatever you want to call them. I think that would be an okay thing, because it's still Spyro essentially. And, Skylanders was a big game in itself, and it sold tremendously. It was a part, it helped with the Toys for Life thing. I mean, that series was huge. And I don't know, didn't Nintendo have like a Bowser and a Donkey Kong, I want to say, that were in Skylanders, or they had Skylander toys or something like that? I don't remember. I think there's something like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo and Activision work on it, some sort of partnership to get some character from Activision into Smash. Activision's sitting on a gold mine of all these franchises, and probably at the top of the list, Crash and Spyro have to be up there. And another point, I mean, Activision does not have a rep in Smash. Not saying they are going to get one, but when you got this third-party company like Activision that works pretty well with Nintendo, I can see this happening. And why not? Just give us one of them at least, right? If not both. I don't think they'll go. Nintendo, this is. I don't think they're going to take, one company like Activision, for example. I don't think they're going to be like, all right, Activision, we want to go for 2 of your characters. I don't think so. I think they're going to kind of go, different avenues. They're going to, Sega or Capcom or Activision or Ubisoft or whatever. I think they're going to go different routes. They're going to go 5 different kind of paths all over gaming, and try to bring in as much people, as many buyers for Smash and its DLC as possible. So yeah, they're not going to target just one kind of, I guess, gaming group, if that made sense. But yeah, I already told you my vote is for Crash. Again, you can vote for both if you want to. It's totally fine. That is a rule that I'm allowing from now on. If you want to vote for both, go ahead. But that is going to be it for this one. So I will give you a little sneak peek for tomorrow's episode. So the matchup is going to be Yoshimitsu from the, well, Tekken / Soul Calibur series. It's already a crossover fighter himself, and it's like Bandai's kind of go-to character. And this character does not get a lot of, I don't want to say recognition, but Yoshimitsu doesn't get talked about a lot. And I think he's one of those characters that you really got to think about. Bandai's working on Smash, and there's a good chance Bandai could get a DLC rep. Yoshimitsu would kind of be perfect, right? But yeah, that will be tomorrow's matchup, and then we'll get the results for Cuphead against Master Chief. So that's tomorrow's episode. But with that being said, this one's coming to an end. Again, the way to vote, down in the comments, simply type the name of one of these two characters or type both. Pretty simple. Anyway, that is it for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and hopefully we'll catch you on the next one. Peace out, everybody.